The wild hog population has exploded to more than 2.6 million, spreading from isolated farmland to the backyards of suburban homes. These invaders have a single purpose: destruction. They tear up crops, erode the soil, foul up water sources, and outcompete native species for food, leaving chaos in their wake and threatening the balance of local ecosystems. That's why we're heading out again, not for sport, but for survival. This is a mission of necessity, aimed at protecting our land, our resources, and the communities that depend on them. By 6 a.m., every detail is in place and each team member knows their role. With the first light of dawn breaking over the horizon, we move out, focused, prepared, and determined to reclaim the land from this relentless menace. From his position on the western hillside, Jay watched over a vital choke point, every sense on high alert. A faint rustle broke the silence, then the sound grew louder. Peering through his scope, he caught sight of movement along the trail. In an instant, a massive wild hog burst from the brush, charging forward with explosive force. Jay steadied his aim and squeezed the trigger. The shot rang out sharp and true. The animal collapsed on the spot, stopped before it could disappear into the dense woods. As the echo of the gunfire faded, the stillness of dawn settled over the land once more. It was a flawless start to the hunt. But on the eastern flank, my morning was far from calm. I found myself staring down a ferocious brute that tore across the slope like a bolt of lightning, dodging every shot I fired. What on earth is this thing? I muttered, my disbelief growing with every move it made. Then, in a moment that felt straight out of an action movie, the hog vaulted over a massive boulder, charging through the open like a blur. I knew this was my one chance. My sights were already up, locked in. I pulled the trigger, one clean shot, and it went down instantly. The chase was over before my heart could even slow. I couldn't help but laugh, adrenaline still rushing through my veins. "Tell me, guys," I called out, grinning, "was that a solid 10 or what?" As the sun dipped behind the hills, we pressed farther into the wild, pushing through thickets so thick they seemed to swallow the world around us. The air was heavy and still, till the silence shattered. Another hog exploded out of the brush, sprinting at full tilt down the narrow trail, desperate to escape. What it didn't realize was that the path it chose would lead it straight into its fate.
Areas.
Kevin, calm and calculating as always, was already in position, one step ahead of the game. The moment the hog turned and exposed its flank, he acted. Boom, boom. Two precise shots, clean and fast. The beast dropped before it even knew what hit it. It had the speed, but we had the strategy. "What do you think, boys?" Kevin shouted with a grin. "That pincer move was pretty slick, huh?" As daylight faded, the fight changed. The hogs grew bolder, forcing us to adapt. We switched to thermal scopes, becoming true predators of the night. Then through the darkness, a shadow emerged, snout buried in the dirt, tearing up the ground in search of food. It was a sight that set my blood boiling. I steadied my aim and pulled the trigger. One shot, one clean takedown. The land fell silent again. It came to dig for food, but in the end, it dug its own grave. Out here, there's no room for destroyers. As night settled over the land, the world turned into a ghostly landscape of black and white through the thermal scope. Every flicker of motion stood out in perfect clarity. With our high-tech gear scanning the darkness, we spotted a group of wild hogs feeding carelessly in a clearing, oblivious to the silent hunters watching from a distance. I steadied my breathing, locked onto the biggest one, and slowly squeezed the trigger. A flash, a thud. One shadow fell, and the rest scattered into the night. No time wasted, no second shots needed. Just one clean hit to make sure dawn would rise in peace. By morning, the land would breathe again, quiet, still, and free from the chaos those destructive invaders had brought. We pushed forward fast, determined to finish the job before the night slipped away. Finn spotted the lead hog, the alpha, and locked in with razor-sharp focus. One perfect shot, and the beast dropped where it stood. The rest scattered in panic, but Finn didn't hesitate. He swung his rifle with practiced precision, firing in rapid bursts like a machine, determined to thin the herd before they could disappear into the trees. When the smoke finally cleared, I turned to the others with a grin. "All right, brothers," I asked, "how many shots did you count in that final volley?" Hey everyone, and welcome to Northwoods Pursuit. If you're into high-stakes hunts and wild backcountry adventures, you're in the right place. Last season, especially in 2024, a lot of folks missed out on the raw edge-of-your-seat action from the Great American Wild Boar Hunt, one of the biggest events in the U.S. hunting world. Wondering what all the buzz was about? We've got the footage, the stories, and the adrenaline-packed highlights you don't want to miss. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're closing in on 10,000 subscribers, and your support means the world. Thanks for being part of the pursuit. Let's talk about what really happened in the woods. This past competition was packed with opportunities, but pressure, nerves, and few distractions cost some hunters their shot, literally. And a missed shot in boar country isn't just a missed trophy, it's a potential threat. These animals don't hesitate to charge when wounded. In response, the U.S. government rolled out a 6-month firearms training program designed to improve hunter accuracy and reduce dangerous close calls. It's not just about hitting the mark, it's about making every hunt safer and smarter. When it comes to wild boar hunting, one rifle that consistently stands out among serious hunters is the Remington 700, especially when paired with an integrated suppressor. Not only does it help reduce noise in the field, but it also delivers impressive accuracy from 100 to 300 yards. That kind of range makes it a top pick for boar hunts across varied terrain. In the U.S., wild boar season typically runs from October through February, with a National Wild Boar Hunting Championship emerging as a major draw since 2022. This high-profile event takes hunters into everything from thick backwoods to wide-open plains, and it's all done in daylight hours, preferred time for tracking and shooting. Over 12,000 hunters compete each year, but getting in isn't easy. You gotta be at least 25 years old and have 3 full seasons of hunting experience under your belt. As for the rules, they're strict. Hunting near homes, in national parks, or protected conservation areas is completely off limits. Break those laws, and you could face fines up to $8,000 and lose your hunting license for 2 years. These regulations are in place for a reason, to protect both people and the wild spaces we all value. Because nighttime visibility can be limited and unpredictable, U.S. hunting regulations require teams of 3 to 5 hunters to operate together after dark. This team-based approach not only improves communication and safety, but also allows hunters to share duties like spotting, tracking, and securing the area. In desert-based competitions, hunters are even allowed to use off-road vehicles, pushing speeds up to 40 miles per hour to cover more ground in less time. But make no mistake, taking a shot from a moving vehicle isn't for the faint of heart. It takes sharp focus, excellent balance, and serious marksmanship to stay accurate while in motion. Still, it's a highly effective strategy for both covering distance and avoiding close calls with charging boars. For many, one of the ultimate tests of skill in the American hunting scene is going after wild boars with a bow and arrow. This style of hunting requires you to get up close, often just 20 to 30 yards from your target, which demands patience, stealth, and nerves of steel. According to data from leading hunting groups, boars are quick to detect motion and noise. Try to approach one without cover, and chances are you'll blow your shot before you even draw your bow. It's a pure high-stakes pursuit that separates the casual hunters from the true outdoorsmen. To overcome the challenge of staying hidden while maintaining accuracy, Many hunters rely on one key tool, hunting blind. These compact, camouflage shelters, typically around 25 to 30 square feet, comfortably fit 2 to 3 people and offer excellent concealment in the field. By staying outside, hunters gain the upper hand, increasing their chances of landing a clean, effective shot. But concealment isn't the only secret weapon. Well-trained hunting dogs play an equally critical role. Their powerful noses can track boars through thick brush and swampy terrain where human senses fall short. In the sprawling wetlands of Florida and Louisiana, it's not uncommon to see over 100 hounds working alongside hunters, especially during large-scale hunts. These dogs are essential in flushing out boars that would otherwise stay hidden in the shadows. To keep track of their canine teammates, hunters use GPS collars, an essential safety measure in the unpredictable wild. These devices help monitor location, prevent dogs from straying into dangerous zones, and allow for quick action if something goes wrong. The use of these tools reflects a bigger picture, a deep commitment to safety, ethical hunting practices, and responsible wildlife management, values strongly supported by the U.S. government and the broader hunting community. What's your take on how the top hunters across the U.S. are handling the wild boar problem? Got a fresh idea or strategy that can help manage this invasive species? We'd love to hear it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you think Japan's method is worth a closer look, type #1 to let us know. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more edge-of-your-seat content featuring wild hunts, smart tactics, and up-close action with some of nature's most unpredictable animals.